Testing, do you guys hear me? I managed to do everything except include my microphone apparently, or rather my mixer, but that should be fine now. Whoops. Well, I'm here. Tech happens, at least it happened in the beginning of the stream. So, how you folks doing? You ready for some more vampire? We were in New York City, I do believe we were in Central Park, which is where the Sept of the Green is. So yeah, wow. I'm still gonna bet money on the fact that the people I need to drink from are gonna be blue-eyed men, and that guy wasn't blue-eyed, couldn't drink from him, so lend some credence to my theory. Also, I looked some things up. Apparently, Kadir is supposed to be Toreador, which I don't know if they retconned that or if he's a Toreador with a penchant for swords, but yeah, my bad. He is apparently not Banu Hakim, he is Toreador, and the prince, Helena, is the child of the former prince, and she got pretty much voted in because nobody else wanted the job, so that's fun. She took over after a Nosferatu prince in 2005, I believe, or he was the prince in 2005. And the art hole apparently showed up in Becca's Jihad diary, so this game is full of references, which I like. A lot of the Kindred are actually showing up from the New York by Night books and similar stuff like that, so mad props to that. Alright, we're gonna go on with Amanda, Night 2. Y'all ready for this? Because I sure as hell am. Alright, so Hoodlum here. Guy goes, I love beer. What do you think you're doing, barging in on my turf like this, lick? So apparently he knows that I'm a vampire. Also got better lighting, by the way, so I don't look like an angry orange anymore. Ugh, got 2010 vibes right there. Lick? What kind of a slur is that? I'm definitely gonna go with that one. I'm not taking crap from this guy. I've been taking crap from people for two nights right now, but it feels like longer. What did you call me? A lick? What is that supposed to mean? Don't be cute with me. I know what you are. Shove that Masquerade bullshit up your ass. I'm sorry? Better tell me who you are, who you're with before my posse shows up and we beat it out of you. I'd rather he didn't. Ooh, that is some hot take you're doing right there, Harry. Banu Hakim are basically Toreador with swords anyway. Well, if they are viziers, apparently they're quite similar to Toreador from what I've heard. Hello, Velos. Nice to see you here again. How you doing? Okay, I'm here with Sophie Langley. I'm with the Camarilla. I'm getting the feeling that this guy doesn't like the Camarilla. So, shove that Masquerade bullshit up your ass is probably not... He's probably not with the Camarilla. Thinking Anarch, but who knows. I'm here with Sophie Langley. That seems like the safe choice. She is, after all, my keeper, so... I came here with Sophie Langley. She's my patron. Doesn't ring a bell. Sounds fancy, though. He licks his lips, exposing his fangs and looking at you voraciously. Is he gonna diablerize me? Really? On my second night as a vampire? I don't think so, buddy. A nervous tick or an attempt at intimidation. I wonder, what would Callahan do to you if I brought you in, huh? Break your shins? Leave you out to be kissed by the sun? Ooh, concrete shoes maybe. He's old school like that. I'm gonna dominate this. Yeah, I'm gonna dominate his ass. Force him to back down. Enough's enough. You won't be intimidated by this asshole. Leave now. His countenance changes. A cruel beast one moment, a humble pup the next. He walks away, just like that. How did you do it? Not wishing to tempt fate any further, you return to the Unisphere, looking back over your shoulder to make sure you're not being followed. Two figures are visible near the sculpture, a man and a woman, tangled in a passionate embrace. Nice reference there. No, not exactly. It's Sophie feeding. But this whole scene is set up so that it looks like a couple getting intimate in public. She pulls it off like she's done it 100 times before. Didn't she? No, wait, she didn't feed at the party before. That's good, because I was like, how hungry are you? It occurs to you that she probably has. The man is unsure on his feet as she lets go of him and leads him towards a nearby bench. Noticing you, she whispers something into his ear and leaves him. Her driver appears from behind a tree. Listen, I have some chairs that are bonars. Chairs? Oh yeah, it's Mitzi. I don't trust that IKEA stuff. Hey, I take personal offense at that, being from the land of IKEA after all. My bookshelf Kindred would like to have a talk with you after we're done. My desk, however, called Eloise. No, wait, that's too normal. I'm not very good at creating fake sounding IKEA names. Well, Amanda, how did it go? You're about to answer when the same figure as before emerges from one of the alleys. He looks at the three of you and a predatory smile creeps onto his lips. You're screwed, dumb fuck. You think you can mess with my head and get away with it? Think you'll be safe with your friends? Well, I have friends too. Yeah, sure you do, buddy. Does your friend also has the name Beer because that's what's on your cap because that's your friend? Yeah, take that. Psh. He makes a motion to shout, but two things happen almost at the same time. First, that feeling of warmth and beauty emanating from Sophie flares up again. Talk about a one-trick pony. Entrancing both you and the hooded thug. His shout comes out as a weak, confused squeak. Second, Gregory produces a wooden stake from a holster under his jacket and slams it into the thug's chest. Oof, Gregory. Ready for anything. You deserve a pay raise. And just like that, in a few seconds, the posturing vampire is down on the ground, paralyzed. Boom! Roasted. Gotti! I see you've made a friend, Amanda. Curious choice of company, I would say. Who is he? He mentioned a Callahan. He said something about presenting me to somebody named Callahan. Ever heard of him? She looks shocked for a split second, then recovers her regular countenance. Yes, I have. This hoodlum is Anarch, then. Curious. Corona Park has not been claimed by any kindred last I checked. Already feeling my throat, so I'll be careful with the voice. Let's go to the car. We'll put him in the trunk and present him to Kadir tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be delighted to make this unbound's acquaintance. Gregory carries the staked vampire and dumps him in the car's trunk like a mannequin. That's really harsh. It's a strange sight, and you're quite happy you're not in that poor fucker's shoes right now. It's almost surprising that you can get away with just casually throwing I was just thinking that, casually throwing a stiff into your car and driving away, but then you remember that Sophie has been doing this far longer than you have. Still, the nagging thought that anything you did tonight could have been recorded on a CCTV camera or picked up by a rando with a half-decent smartphone and streamed online fills you with dread. By the way, the company, I believe, who made this draw distance is Polish, and they recently published some information about some questions people had about stuff. I know one big criticism towards this game is that there is apparently no Sabbat. I've been trying to keep away from the news about this, but ooh, Jonathan, I'm happy that you bought it. Oh, wow. I'm honored that I managed to convince you. I think this is a really good game. Some people have been criticizing it because apparently the ending is a little bit... it's a visual novel. I'm just going to say that. I wasn't expecting Bloodlines 2 out of this game, and if there's any replayability, I'm going to be happy about that. Also, I'm going to sound like I'm a fanboy here, which I am, obviously, but a visual novel game released with Vampire the Masquerade, of course I'm going to buy it, especially when the writing's good. But, like I was saying, some criticism towards this game is that it doesn't have any Sabbat in it. Sorry, spoilers, but if you're watching this, sorry. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that the Sabbat has been keeping really, really low in V5 in general. There is Sabbat content coming, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that they were tied. Their hands were a little bit tied with including content like that, because White Wolf is obviously going to try to keep that on the down low before they've decided to reveal the Sabbat again. And basically, I'm just reading the chat while I'm talking. Basically, yeah, New York used to be a Sabbat city, but a lot of stuff has happened, and I think it became a Camarilla city already in '99, at least officially. There's been pockets of Sabbat resistance all over the place, because obviously it's New York, it's full of little hidey holes. But yeah, there might be there might be a sequel, there might be DLC with Sabbat, who knows. I'm gonna keep my hope up. And again, I paid $17 for this. I think that's a fair amount of money for a visual novel game like this. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. Let's go back to the game. Hunting and using your abilities is a dangerous business. It's clear that this whole being a vampire thing has about as many caveats as it has perks. Hey, Victor. Cat's gonna be up on the desk in a minute. You're taken out of your headspace by Sophie's voice. I will pick you up tomorrow night, same as tonight. I have some business to attend to at Elysium, and I literally cannot read what's on the screen right now. Thank you, Victor. I will have to look at the other monitor. And I expect you to accompany me. One good thing about OBS is that I'm actually looking at the OBS right now, so that means I can look at the camera. Everything's fine. Everything's good. A little behind the scene magic. And yeah, I agree. Shame there are no Malkavians or Nosferatu as playable characters though, but who knows, maybe the next chapter might have that. Could be a thing. Banu Hakim, Nosferatu, Malkavian. Could be cool. Gangrel, I'd love that. Plus, our friend in the back needs to be properly introduced to Kadir and the Prince. I'm sure he'll have some... Yeah, I need to do some vocal warm-ups next time I stream. I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say to the court. Her voice is cold, cruel, and nothing like the enchanting personality she showed at the gallery earlier tonight. Sophie is clearly a woman of many faces. What's going to happen to him? I mean, I'm not heartless. I don't want the guy to die. What's going to happen to him? The usual, I imagine. Interrogation by Kadir, probably in the basement of the gallery. A quick trial with the prince in attendance if she's there tomorrow night. A swift execution as the verdict. This all sounds eerily familiar to you, and you can't help but feel a pang of guilt when you think about what awaits this guy tomorrow night. Oh god, there's already 16 of you guys watching here. Ugh, totally not having stage fright right now. You haven't told me how your hunting went. Getting the hang of it, I would hope? I tried, but the blood was awful. My picky tastes flared up again, and I couldn't make myself drink from that man, even though I did bite him. And I didn't lick the wound, I just realized. Did I lick the wound? I don't think I did. That is very bad. Alright, good luck at work, Paladin. Hope you'll have a good day at work. God, I really need to do vocal warm-ups. That is unfortunate. I'm afraid I don't have a ready-made solution for this. You'll need to trust your instincts. The sooner you learn what it is you're looking for in a vessel, the better. Blue-eyed guy. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it. She seems distracted, not all there. Her thoughts drift and the car remains silent until you reach your apartment. We will pick you up tomorrow evening. Good night. And just like that, without any further courtesy, Sophie leaves, driven to her apartment by Gregory, with a body in the trunk, right in the middle of Manhattan. See, I got a little bit of blood spatter at the corners of my screen, and that's because I have not fed tonight. Did you cross paths with situations like these in the past, unknowingly? What other secrets did you pass on the streets without knowing their true nature? Your haven is just as you left it hours ago. Although the sun won't come up for some time, you feel tired. You learned something about yourself today, and it'll take time to process. You're not in the mood for television, and the few books on the shelves in the apartment are either in languages you don't speak, or sound like a boring read. Maybe it's time for another night of HBO and Go. Nothing left to do but rest. You settle in the back room, not even HBO, lock the door. A moment of hesitation, but then a decision. This time, you turn the lights off. At least some kind of normalcy, right? You think back to Julie. How many people in this city know about this vampiric society? How many are willing accomplices in sustaining it? Julie. Oh, right, the girl I almost drank from. And the thug you met in the park. If he's not Camarilla, then what is he? Are there independent vampires? How does that work? Also, are you guys okay with me being up here in the corner? Because I thought having me down here at the bottom was going to be a problem, but so far it's not really been much of an issue. So if you folks want me to move down to the bottom corner, just let me know in the chat, okay? More questions. You begin wondering if there's ever going to be a night when you start crossing them off the list instead of adding to it. You close your eyes, and you sink into the now familiar void of nothingness. That's what they revealed. I'm La Sombra, actually. It's the void. I am the antediluvian of La Sombra. Figured it out. Nailed it. Got the plot twist. It greets you with open arms, like an old friend. Yeah, of course it would. Rest. You open your eyes. It's pitch dark here, the blackness of a coffin, drifting in the abyss. Oh, right, the light. You grasp for the switch, flip it, and the familiar cramped room with a steel door and no windows comes into view. You emerge from the bedroom fully awake, just like yesterday. This time, however, Sophie is waiting for you, comfortably seated on the sofa in your living room space, a book in her hand. The Melancholy of Resistance, the title's sure on the brand. Okay, I'm gonna move myself down because I think it would be better to not like cut off here at the bottom. Whee! Alright, I am down here in the bottom, apparently a little bit blurry, but we'll deal. Okay. Good evening, Amanda. Actually, I'm in the way of the decisions now. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. Why did I move down here? Whee! Up we go again. Alright, sorry for all the technical stuff, people. I haven't been streaming in a long time. Alright, good evening, Sophie. How did you get inside? How did you get inside the apartment? After a long and spirited battle, I managed to defeat the lock. She produces a keychain with a faceted emerald at the end and jingles it in the air with a wry smile. I like Sophie. I really like her a lot. Apparently Huddy made her into a Southern belle. I really like that accent, but I'm afraid, no wait. Nah, I'm afraid I can't do really that voice that well. It's my apartment, remember? Yeah, I'm gonna stick to this voice too, I like it. Sorry, Huddy, I'm gonna steal that from you. Come, we have an appointment. Our Zed Word Elysium will be called again tonight on account of your unruly friend from Corona Park. This should be a great opportunity for you to mingle, as they say. I've been watching enough House of Cards to sort of pull that accent off. She keeps talking as you walk downstairs and get in the car. Gregory gives you a slight nod and a small smile while opening the door for Sophie. He starts the car when you take your seat in the back. Most of the Primogen Council is bound to be there, at least those who usually attend. Probably some other important personalities you do well to at least learn about. I don't know if I'm actually doing a good voice, but I'll stick to it. I like it more than my slightly sinister tone that I gave her before. More politics. How should I carry myself when inside? Or who should I talk to? Anyone I should talk to when we arrive? Not especially. My advice would be to try to talk to the prince and perhaps reassure her of your gratefulness for being spared. Maybe speak to Kadir on some topics if you get a hold of him. The Primogen I would advise against. They are rather stuck up, all told, and even if they will talk to you, they might try to secure you for some nefarious purpose. I wouldn't appreciate that. Texas Toreador, yeah. Of course, be respectful if anybody approaches you and strikes up a conversation. You will no doubt be gossiped about, as will I. Keep a cool head, and some enjoy provoking fledglings into stupid acts. I'm sorry. If I'm doing the voice poorly, just let me know and I will drop it. I'm just having fun. At any rate, you should behave yourself tonight. Remember what I told you about reflecting on me as your patron. I have a reputation to uphold in the court. Do not tarnish it. There it is. She might have saved you, she might be protecting and teaching you, but it's clear what she's really concerned about, her own interests. You step into the art hall with something of a bad memory. The last time you were here, your entire world had been turned upside down and your existence nearly ended. But tonight, there is very little outward hostility. Yes, Kadir gives you a look that's definitely intended to remind you of your place, but the prince, also in attendance, seems pleased to see you. Welcome, Sophie. Amanda, did I get that right? Good evening to both of you. I understand there is somebody else you wish to present to the court tonight? Yes, Prince. They will be joining you shortly. My assistant is retrieving them presently. This better be worth the prince's time, Langley. The prince gives Kadir a cold glance. Forgive the sheriff's harshness. He's in a particularly foul mood tonight. Something to do with Amanda's begetter eluding his grasp, I believe. Ouch, that must have hurt his ego, even if his only reply is a crooked smile. Yeah, he's trying to chase down my creator, my progenitor, my Ventru. Someone commented, of course, about the stream previously that it couldn't really be Hardest because Hardest's been killed, which, yes, I agreed to that. I didn't really know when this was taking place, but I'm going to assume it's 2018 or something like that, so Hardest is not going to be around anymore. He was killed by Theo Bell in 5th edition, V5. The mention of your sire makes you grit your teeth in anger. Asshole. Settling you with a curse that cut you off your career, cheated you out of your ambitions, offering little in return so far. You remind yourself that defeatism will get you nowhere. Mindfulness, the here and now. This is an opportunity. You will make the most of it, if only to spite everyone who doubts your true worth. The flaring up of whispers in the gallery hall breaks you out of your thoughts. Gregory enters the room, the jumpsuit-clad, inert vampire still staked on his shoulder. The show's about to start. Sophie's driver places his charge in the middle of the room and nods respectfully to Kadir. The sheriff approaches the vampire and removes the stake from his chest. The captive's eyes flicker to life, and he starts looking around in disbelief. Like a cornered animal, he backs out on all fours, keeps going in circles until he realizes he's trapped. Oh yeah, this feels very Bloodlines 1, I agree. Kadir steps on the man's chest and pins him to the floor. Why... who do we have here? Oh fuck, oh shit, no, come on, don't! Silence. The sheriff takes on an aura of utter dread. He appears as if he's a primal force of nature that's out to get you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do but shrivel in terror. The beast inside you shrieks, and you could swear it happens in unison with the instinct of some of the other guests here tonight. It's unlike anything you've experienced in his company during your turbulent first night as a vampire. He really did go easy on you, all things considered. It seems like it takes all of the hoodlum's willpower to not crawl into a fetal position and cry. No, please don't hurt me, man, don't. You and me are going to have a little talk downstairs, at the prince's discretion. Please, go ahead, my sheriff. You heard the prince. Get up, let's go. Oh, he's taken out some of his anger and issues on this poor man. He doesn't wait for a confirmation. He just grabs the man and drags him, kicking and screaming out of the room. Conversation starts all around you, some whispered, some quite overt. Sophie looks somewhat bored of the whole affair, her eyes wandering from art piece to art piece, clearly finding nothing to her particular liking. Torture in an art gallery? For how cultured you all seem, torturing somebody in an art gallery doesn't seem to faze you. Oh, please. Do keep your keep your naivety. Take two. Oh, please, do keep your naivety to yourself. Power and violence have always been two sides of the same coin. Most of us here are far too old to bother with keeping up appearances. Yeah, I love Kadir too. He's still gonna be Tzimitzi anti-tribute, I guess. Headcanon. Or Old Clan, even. Excuse me. Sophie leaves your side and goes to a corner of the gallery where a group of kindred, some seemingly pretty old-fashioned, gathered. A concierge offers you a drink. I heard someone else say concierge is how you pronounce that, isn't it? I mean, I'm Swedish, obviously I'm not entirely sure if that's correct, but I would assume I've seen Godfather, that's how they call it, concierge, right? Still warm, it smells nice. Just a sip to start you off, a splash over your palate, coating your tongue and the inside of your cheeks. Nourishment. You're left your own... Ooh, so that was actually blood that I could drink. This guy, he keeps track. Good work, give him a raise. You're left to your own devices. You have a quick look around. The prince is currently talking to a dark-skinned woman that you recall seeing here those few nights ago. She has a cold but noble countenance to her. Their conversation seems to be casual. A loud, shrill laugh turns your attention to the bespectacled man who you saw with Sophie on the night of your judgment. He's making the rounds, chatting up different patrons. You feel somebody's eyes on you. A casually dressed, plain-looking man stands alone near a column, watching you. He turns his gaze away sheepishly when he realizes you've noticed. The man with the glasses I know Sophie was talking with the last night. The prince is not... I'm not gonna bother the prince. I'm gonna confront the man looking at me. Is that the same guy that was looking... Oh, concierge. Alright, I unfortunately don't know... I'm not that good at reading phonetics, but concierge. God, I don't... Concierge. Really? No, I'm not saying that right. Concierge. Let's just hope the word never shows up again. I'm sorry. Thank you, Weird and Quirky. Weird and Quirky. I'm sorry. A little bit slow today. Thank you for finding out the phonetics for that. I'm gonna confront the man looking at me. There's something about this guy. It's not that he's staring at you. Most everybody in this room has at one point or another. It's how he does it. He seems shy, maybe even afraid. Concierge. Okay, I got it. Concierge. Okay. Not concierge. Right. This is the shy guy that actually was looked at. He probably wanted to defend me. It's hard to find a secluded spot in the gallery tonight, but this guy has an entire corner of the room all to himself. He's standing alone, no glass in his hand, just a look of worry as you approach. Something wrong? You look worried. Is something wrong? What? Besides hanging out with blood-drinking monsters and acting like it's not a big deal? No, I guess it's business as usual. His bitterness is palpable. Sorry, having a bad night. Name's Larson. Or you can call me Robert. Either's fine. This guy looks like, what's his face? The actor. The Hulk Fight Club. What's your role in this court? So do you have a role in this court, or are you just here for the company? Now that's a loaded question. I'm one of Prince Panhard's primogen. I'm here on business. In case the prince requires my insight, usually so she can hear me out before she ignores me. Not sure if you were paying attention the other night, but when the prince mentioned diverging opinions, oh, I noticed, on whether you should be executed or not, that was me. I was a diverging opinion. Edward Norton, that's the guy. Thank you very much. Yeah, doesn't he look a little bit like Edward Norton? Just the hair is kind of crazy. What was your reasoning? Or wow, thank you. I'm gonna go with wow, thank you. That's huge. Thank you. Even if it didn't change the prince's mind. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Listen, I don't want to be rude, and I appreciate you reaching out, but word of advice? Stay away from me. Malkavian, calling it right now. Many vampires in this sect regard my position as primogen to be kind of a joke, you know, or he could be caitiff. You talk to me, they'll notice, and they'll hold it against you. You have a quick look behind you, and you see that a few of the kindred keep shooting you curious glances. One woman especially, a redhead boasting a fanciful hairstyle, watches you disapprovingly. Another redhead. Some of them already do, I imagine. Excuse me, I need to try to get a word. Or should I do the Fight Club? Excuse me. No, wait, I can't do that voice anyway. I was gonna do the Ed Norton voice for Fight Club, but I actually don't know how to do that, so never mind. Excuse me, I need to try to get a word in with a few primogen members before Kadir returns. Enjoy your night. With just the critical looks of a few kindred to keep you company, you start thinking about who to pursue next. And you notice Sophie mingling with other kindred, clearly in her element and not to be disturbed. Kadir hasn't come back yet, so you can probably still find time for at least one conversation. I'm gonna chat up the man with the glasses. No, I'm gonna talk to the prince. You approach the prince, trying to stay as respectful of her private conversation as possible. She glances at you as you step forward, her scrutinizing gaze mimicked by her companion. She addresses the dark-skinned woman before turning to you. Excuse me for a moment, Samira. Yes, Amanda, what is it? I wanted to give you my thanks. I wish to thank you for sparing me, Prince. I realize it wasn't an easy decision to make, and I wanted to express my sincere appreciation. How thoughtful of you. She takes a long look at you before she continues. I'm a venture. I'm gonna butter up everyone I can butter up that has any form of status in this sect, okay? I know the game. I didn't do it from the kindness of my unbeating heart. You are an asset to Miss Langley, to the Camarilla, and to me. I believe I made the right decision. Proved to me and the other kindred of this city that it was so, and there might be more to your future nights than just survival and servitude. The dark-skinned woman looks impatiently at you and catches the prince's attention. Forgive me, that's all the time I can spare you right now. We have some things to discuss with Samira still. Enjoy your night, Amanda. Same to you, Prince Panhard. And the same to you, Prince Panhard. The prince nods and turns back to the other women to continue their conversation. A loud exchange near the staircase grabs everyone's attention. Kadir is back and the hoodlum is with him. The sheriff pushes the other vampire inside the room. The vampire that threatened you last night is a mess. That stupid hat still inexplicably on his head, covering some of his ruined face in a welcome shadow. He's barely conscious. His shin is broken, you think. Something protruding there, making a bulge in the pant leg. One arm seems twisted at a strange angle. Very little blood, surprisingly, but clearly a whole lot of hurt. Ouch. Well, Kadir, did our guest cooperate? Tell the prince your name. It's Howard. And who do you run with, Howard? The Midnighters. Poor Howard. An anarch coterie, my prince. Active for some time now. Though from what this one told me, the name is about the only legacy the group kept over the year. I see. Hey, Prince, I didn't mean it. I didn't know. A loud crack. Has some of the guests audibly gasp as Kadir's slap dislocates the man's jaw. A spray of blood creates something like an abstract art piece on the floor. An involuntary reaction. Your eyes lock onto the red drops and you feel a pang of hunger. Even though you had some blood tonight, it seems like it's still not enough to fully control your instincts. This is Steam and good old games for now, I believe, but it's also been announced for PS4 and the Switch, I believe, but it's not been released yet, unfortunately. This one is guilty of threatening a member of the Camarilla and claiming a domain without the prince's approval. That would be enough to pass a swift judgment, but he is also anarch scum. I don't think it's on the tablet, unfortunately. I do know they released a cellular or mobile game a pretty long time ago. It got pulled, though, for a bunch of reasons you could probably find online. I'm not going to go into them here, but if you bought it before, you can still get it on your phone, but otherwise, it's not available, I think. Could still be? I'm not sure. Pretty good reason for pulling it, though. My prince? There can be only one verdict. Final death. Do your duty, Sheriff. Unless, of course, somebody would like to play at being a good Samaritan, like our dear Miss Langley a few nights ago. The look the prince serves you and Sophie is a cruel jest. Sophie takes it gracefully, smiling and slipping her arm into yours in a strange public show of affection. Affection, right, Sophie? I don't think so. Nobody says anything. The vampire named Howard jumps to his feet and makes for the window. I think I need eye contact to use Dominate, but I'm gonna stop him from escaping. He messed with me a lot. In a split second, you make your choice. You dash and hit Howard with your shoulder. He crashes into a painting. Oh no. Oh no. 4 abstract shapes and a photorealistic squirrel for some reason, and falls. I hope I didn't break the art. You pin him to the floor, but his survival instinct makes him a tough opponent to keep down. He flips the tables, sits down on you, and tries to bite you. This turned out way worse than I thought. I should not have done that. His head disappears from his shoulders. Kadir's blade slashing just centimeters from your face. The lifeless body, instantly limp and decaying in front of your eyes, weight you down. You throw it off, straighten your attire, look to the crowd. I guess he just lost his head for a moment. Oh god, someone just died right in front of me. Well, Amanda, your eagerness is laudable, if unnecessary. That Howard fellow couldn't have hoped to escape his fate, not with Kadir's expertise. I was only trying to help. Oh, I could dominate? I didn't realize that. I thought you needed eye contact for dominate. However, I have made note of this show of loyalty on both your and your patron's account. I would like to thank Miss Langley for bringing this anarch thug to mine and Kadir's attention. I assume all have found the verdict satisfactory. It's a rhetorical question and everybody here knows it. Then I consider tonight's meeting concluded. Good night to all of you. She steps out of the room and you see that many of the guests motion to do the same. Sophie seems to be conversing with somebody, a serious-looking man in a trench coat, about what transpired. Apparently I've dropped 38 frames while streaming this, that's not good. But apparently I do believe I'm streaming at 1920 though. It's 1920, right? 1080p? You probably have the time to strike... Oh, that's not the prince saying that. You probably have the time to strike up a conversation of your own too. Kadir al-Asmai is still there, but clearly getting ready to leave for one. Larson is still moping around, and the other man you noticed before Kadir brought the Anarch here is still chatting with the remaining attendants. That guy was weird. I want to talk to Kadir. Okay. Damn it. I wish I knew that. Hello from Artistic Gangrel in the north. Hello, Northern Shaman. How you doing? North in North America or north in Northern Europe? How you doing? How you doing? Sorry, I see you deleted your message. Sorry about that, but welcome to the stream. Alright, the sheriff's mood seems to have improved, so you decide there won't be a better shot at saying your piece. He is just sheathing his sword as you approach him. He notices you just before... Hey again. Oh, he fixed the misspelling, sorry about that. He notices you just before his face turns from a melancholic frown to his regular predatory smirk. You seem to have caught him at a moment of reflection. Ooh, Canada, nice. Where at? In, I just realized I don't know that many Canadian places. In Montreal, Quebec, Newfoundland? I don't know any other Canadian cities, I'm sorry. Newfoundland is also not a city, by the way. I do know that. Oh, cool, we got 2 Canadians. What is it, Amanda? No, what is it, Amanda? I wanted to thank you for bringing me here. I wanted to thank you for bringing me here in one piece, for giving me a chance. An emotion creeps onto Kadir's face that you haven't seen the sheriff exhibit yet. Is that gratitude? It's fleeting, only there for a moment, gone in the blink of an eye. It was trying on my nerves, and you're still far and away from proving that it was the right thing to do. So don't think that a few kind words will let you off the hook. Montreal. Did I say Montreal? I think I said Montreal, actually. Yeah, Montreal. I know I landed in Canada. Ontario. Yeah, there we go, Manitoba. Cool, we got people watching from all over the world. That's really cool. Still, I have to admit, I was as surprised as the prince when you jumped on the occasion to stop that anarch from escaping. I was sure Valerie would have beat you to it. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. Why are you so mean? Is that a reference to It, the original TV series? Can you tell me something about Sophie? Oh, thank you. I like it too. He just looked like a Tsimitsi the first time I saw him, so that's the voice I gave him. But apparently he likes the Mets, so I would assume he stayed in New York for quite a while. He's always going to be a Tsimitsi in my heart of hearts. I'm just going to clan represent here for a little bit, and then back we go. I was wondering if you could tell me something about Sophie. She talks a lot about the Camarilla and other things, but I barely know anything about her. Oh, I can tell you something about Sophie. Some things she wouldn't want you to hear. Like the fact she's manipulative and vindicative. Vindicative, even. Sorry, my pronunciation is all weird. But then again, which of us Kindred aren't? Well, Kadir, that's not really new information that she is vindictive and whatever else that thing you said was because of a memory of a goldfish. Hello, Huddy. How you doing? Hello. I gave Sophie a Southern Belle voice as well. I'm not doing a great job at it, but you inspired me to do it. You want to know more about Sophie's past? Ask her. She's unlikely to tell you the truth, though. I'm quite sure she never told me, despite our previous history. Ooh, am I spying a sordid romance in the past, perhaps? That's what we do, fledgling. We exist for centuries and we lie. To our families, our friends, our lovers, to our kindred, sires and children, to ourselves. He picks up the sword and turns to the stairs. Good night. And watch yourself. You've messed up my batting average, so I'll be sure to keep a close eye on you. I like Kadir a lot. With that final threat, he leaves the gallery. I think Kadir is a fan favorite. Hadi, if I'm not mistaken, are you perhaps crushing slightly on this guy? I seem to get that vibe during your stream. It's right about when Sophie also ends her conversation and walks over to you. Interesting evening. No, okay. I gotta get into the proper mindset because I'm not very good at doing this voice. Interesting evening, wasn't it? Come, Gregor is waiting downstairs. She seems preoccupied with something and not in a talkative mood. It's an awkward ride back to the city. I didn't get enough chance to... I need to warm up that voice. Now, I've always been a man who considered myself something of a professional politician. I'm trying to get into the right way of speaking. Yeah, I'm kind of also crushing hardcore on Kadir, I'm going to be honest. This time you arrive at another building, just 2 streets across from your apartment. She brings you upstairs, through a very nice lobby and a luxurious-looking hall into her domain. Yeah, I agree, it's weird that you can't play Gangrel. My little theory is that maybe there's gonna be like a chapter 2, and they're gonna have 3 other clans for you to play. That would be pretty neat, like Malkavian, Gangrel, Nosferatu, or Banu Hakim, since they've joined the sect as well. I was gonna say it might only be sect clans, but then there's a Bruja in this, so they've left the Camarilla officially anyway. I like how the chat is everyone's thirsting for Kadir, essentially. Please have a seat. I shall be right with you. No, that was not good. You take in the surroundings. The apartment is like a gallery, an old school smoking room that you've seen in some period piece ones, and a nouveau riche living room meticulously put together. Apologies, old habits die hard. Clearly some stick with you even after death. Oh, she's smoking. She drags on the cigarette, breathes. This is like the one sound I can never make. Breathes. Breathes out. Breathe this. I'm supposed to be an English teacher. How is she doing that? Can you do that? Ooh, you're in the Seattle by Night Discord run by Outstar. Wow, that's really cool. I've been looking at that, but I could not get into another online game, unfortunately. My schedule is really tight right now. I'm playing Los Angeles in Anarchy, which is a really cool online play-by-post thing as well. Shout out to that. So if you guys ever want to do some pre-V5 Vampire, that's where I'm hanging out. Oh yes, you might not know it takes some practice, but you can keep smoking if you'd like. Other things too, experiments, you might surprise yourself. But I did not bring you here to show you off. No, to show off. This is where I rest these nights. That door in the back, the bedroom. Similar to yours, I have servants and bodyguards in addition, of course. I brought you here because I need you to trust me. When I told you before that I needed your best behavior to uphold my good standing with the court, I meant it. Well, that's not the whole story. Yeah, it's so difficult. We don't have the sound in Swedish, and I've never been able to master it. I'm getting better at the W and V sounds, because sometimes I go vampire and werewolf, but I've gotten better at that. I have your interest in mind, too. No, not too. I have your interest in mind, too. That's why I've given you your own haven. Why I'm trying to teach you how to navigate this new reality. Like, I think she's Southern, because she says, why I'm trying to teach you how to navigate this new reality. But you need to trust me, or else this won't work out. I think she's probably Southern, yeah. You can come here whenever you feel like asking me something. When you're in trouble, too, though I hope that won't happen often. I would ask you to come here when you wake up tomorrow. I'll have something to discuss with you. Why would I antagonize this person? Why not discuss it right now, actually? Why not talk right now since we're here together? I'll still need to follow up on a few things before we speak. Patience, fledgling. That silence again. There's definitely something on Sophie's mind tonight, but she does not seem eager to share it with you just yet. Oh, also, cool that she's German. I noticed you lived in Germany, but I didn't know you were actually living with your spouse there. That's really cool, Huddy. I'm leaving for another visit. Come downstairs with me, we'll give you a lift. A quick trip, some polite goodbyes, and a promise that you'll show up tomorrow later. Tomorrow, later, you open the door to your haven and gather your thoughts. It's exciting in a way, being dragged deeper and deeper into this secret society and its rules. Whatever Sophie has planned for you, it's bound to teach you more about this thing you have become. Also, Huddy, you were asking in your stream who'd actually want to become a vampire, and if I'm assuming this is going to be World of Darkness vampire, I'd be totes my goats up for that, just saying, because I have a soft spot for secret societies, I'm just going to tell you that. You sink into your vampiric sleep, which is a sliver of hope. It's a welcome change. Yeah, I survived another night, and I'm going to get even hungrier. Oh, thank you, Huddy. Thank you. I'm glad I'm getting back into it, because I used to do... Before Kevin Spacey turned out to be a super freak, I used to try to do impressions of him when I was watching House of Cards. I am a huge fan of political drama. I love West Wing. So when House of Cards was going, I was really into that. And then for some reason, I decided not to watch the last couple of seasons or whatever. Alright, weird and quirky, you're also up for becoming a vampire. Welcome to the club. Once more, darkness falls upon the city. You wake up, same as you have these past few nights, in a windowless room. And as you pry open the reinforced steel door, you look out the window to see, invariably, a sky bereft of sunlight, and then it hits you, the hunger. For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night when it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have as much chance of kickstarting your heart with jumper cables. You lock the apartment behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her, might as well not keep the lady waiting. And hey, what else are you gonna do? Yeah, that he had it down to a T. I loved his accent. Get in touch with your boss? He's probably looking for you, if only to scold you for the unattended files piling up on your desk. But what is he gonna do? Call the cops? Ugh, not worth the hassle. You're almost hoping the few coworkers that seemed to give a shit about you were faking it. It would make things easier. A fresh start from the grounds up, just like old times. These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected. All these people, you're not one of them, not anymore. You're a vampire, and you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence, one way or another. Appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's building just as that thought crosses your mind. A quick word with the security guard, and you're led into the elevator. Apparently, Mrs. Langley is expecting you. Of course she is. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door opens and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. I think I definitely agree with you that life is precious and that the whole inevitable end of it kind of gives you the motivation to do stuff. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be doing this channel if it wasn't for the fact that I want to do stuff. I want to leave something behind. I want to do something, you know, lasting. But the prospect of just living forever, you could buy all the books you want. You could just hang out with the same creeps for, okay, maybe not that great, hanging out with the same 50 people in Sweden with vampires and sleeping through all of summer. You guys know the sun doesn't go down sometime during the summer. Like, it's on the horizon and then just goes up again. You find the lady herself standing by the window, silhouetted against the city's midnight glow. She stares out, motionless like a marble statue. Ooh, that's a nice painting. Am I interrupting something? Hey, am I interrupting something? She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you with strangely bleary eyes. Was she literally, what is it called? Trancing at the city outside? That is such a Toreador thing to do. I mean, if I was going to be a vampire, I would have wanted to be at Simitsi, because honestly, flesh crafting, you could look however you want. You could be whoever you want. That's very tempting. Yes, you are. But that's all right. I've been meaning to ask you something. When you look out at this city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about? You gaze out. The lights and rain, the relentless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window echoing off the buildings. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece. Which they probably did, which is probably being used in this game right now. That's very meta. Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, in the winter, the sun doesn't go up. It goes down at it goes up at 8 or 9 and goes down at 1 or 2 in the middle of the winter, so it's plenty of no sunlight to move about. Other than that, though, it's business as usual. Apparently a favorite word of the writer of this game. The sights, the sounds, the smells, you know them all too well. And as a writer myself, well, amateur writer, you've seen my videos, you know that there are some words that I really like to use. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies that the world offers. In fact, among Kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning even in the mundane. You see, the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. There are 13 such bloodlines among us kindred, though that number has been contested in the past, and these nights it seems that nothing is certain anymore. Yeah, but traveling as a vampire is risky business, especially in Scandinavia where there's a lot of werewolves still. The clans have gone by many epithets over the years, but the name used these days have their roots in medieval times. The original Inquisition, if you can believe it. Oh yeah, I read that somewhere. They use these to categorize us, describe our inherent differences, and in time we adopted them ourselves. Yeah, migratory vampire. The only problem is if you're a gangrel, that's fine. You just go into the ground once the sun is gonna go up and you'll be safe and sound as long as someone doesn't come around with an excavator. But if you're more of a social vampire, you gotta make sure no one's gonna open up your coffin or whatever during the day, because then you go sorry, I scared Victor. He freaked out. Each clan has a uniqueness about it, inescapable, originating from an ancient progenitor carried from sire to child. For the Toreador, the gift lies in a sensitivity of a sort. We are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot. A blessing on most nights, or occasionally a curse. The sheriff is a... There we go, he is Toreador. The sheriff is of my clan as well, although you'd be hard-pressed to see him as such. Poor Kadir, it breaks my heart to see him in this state. Oh yeah, she could be a New York socialite. That would be awesome, though. Still there is... Oh god, how does a New York accent sound? Hey, still there's a beauty to it. No, you never heard that. You heard nothing. Still, there's a beauty to it as well. Nothing like a good fall from grace. Try as she might to act playful, you can tell she genuinely cares. She lets her gaze wander for a brief moment, but is quick to regain her composure. Then there are the Ventrue, known for their pride and proclivity to rule over others. The prince represents that clan, and as is quite common in our society around the globe. Where the Blue Bloods think themselves rulers, the Pruha like to see themselves as preeminent revolutionaries. They call for I'm slowly turning more and more British. They call for universal rebellion. Aw, did you guys hear that? That was Victor. He meowed at me. He wants pets. They call for universal rebellion while being slaves to their own temper. The Bouviers, I don't actually know what that is. We don't discuss the rabble much anymore, not after they've largely broken off with the Camarilla. To think they were philosophers once, long ago. Also, I'm playing this with one hand because Victor is desperately screaming for pets right now. Oh, Jackie Kennedy, I don't... God, no, I know who that is, but I don't think I've ever heard her talk. All I know is that Dr. Girlfriend dresses like Jackie Kennedy, but certainly doesn't talk like Jackie Kennedy. Alright, well, no, she has such a deep voice, I can't do it. I hope to tell you more about some of the other bloodlines tonight. What's my clan? Do you know what my clan is? No, I can only guess it. Based on certain aspects of your behavior and tastes, you will need to come to your own conclusion and seek validation from your clanmates, if you require such a thing. As you will no doubt learn, some kindred fit these stereotypes more than others. The blood is hard to deny, though there are certainly those who try. Grey Gardens, okay, I'm gonna add that to my list of things to watch. I have promised to watch Mean Girls because apparently one of my fellow players is playing a Toreador that is very similar to the girl who has something like ESPN or something. I have never seen Mean Girls, can you believe that? But that is perhaps a subject for another time. I invite you here for a reason. I invited you here for a reason. There is something I wanted to speak to you about. Yeah, exactly. I puked 5 times or something, and I can't stomach like half of the blood in this game. Or 4/5, I guess. It is customary in our society, especially among younger kindred, to organize into coteries. Sometimes these are called by the prince themselves or mandated by a fledgling sire. In our case, you may treat it as more of a strong recommendation. I want you to seek out companions, not only because you need to learn more about our society, but also because it is useful. I have not watched Mean Girls. I am sorry that I have missed this pillar of 2000s entertainment. I have no words. My boobs, however, can tell how warm it is outside. Yeah, Mean Girls is apparently a staple of American culture these days. True friendships are rare among... Victor, stop showing me your belly. You know I want to pet that. True friendship are rare among kindred, but having allies, even temporary ones, is something of a necessity these nights. We might be selfish creatures, but we are drawn to each other nonetheless. Cat hair in my nose. Do you have your own coterie? So tell me, are you a part of a coterie? Any close allies? I do have those that I trust enough to work with, yes. So much hair in my nose. Exactly, though I have joined several of those over the years. Not in over a century, though. You, however, you would do well to meet some of the city's younger kindred and see if you can find a connection. It's an essential experience for one so young. She puts on a mysterious smile. I just got cat hair on my tongue. I spent some of my precious time last night asking around, pondering potential kindred for you to meet. Came up with a short list of contacts, and I hope you appreciate the gesture. Forging a partnership with them might offer perspective and viewpoints that I cannot provide, lenses through which to view our kind. They are all members of the Camarilla, of course, more or less. That's the problem with having 2 very, very furry cats. More hair just came flying towards me. You're choosing friends for me? I'm not gonna say that. Sorry, Victor. I'm not blaming you, but we really need to brush that loose fur out of your fur, I guess. Okay, who are they? Thanks, I guess? I know this might feel awkward, but trust me, it's the easiest way. You'll find you'll still have much to learn, and it's best if you have many tutors. Now, one thing I did look up at this game was that I saw the trailers for all the Coterie companions, so I'm pretty excited about that. So let us start with the Tremere. Sorry. They are a powerful clan, disliked by many but feared and respected by many more. They have been an important pillar of the Camarilla since the very beginning. They are blood sorcerers. Oh, that was a bad delivery. Blood sorcerers? You flash back to one of those nights when your ex would stay up late playing video games. Not a pleasant connection. Not a pleasant connotation, even. Video games. Blech, I don't have time for that. I'm all about making money. Sophie snickers. Oh, child, don't be caught with that look on your face when you meet a warlock in person. They really are adept at using vitae, their own as well as others, to unique and potent effects. Since they are quite rigid in their hierarchy, the kindred I had in mind for you might need some persuading. His name is Agathon. Of course, I'm going to go for the Tremere first. Hello. From what I hear, he is quite the scholar. Very ambitious. The child of a noted Tremere here in New York. Ooh, the child of Sturbridge. She is a major character in this in the meta plot. She's a close ally to Beckett, for one, and I think she's the main character of the Tremere clan book. The child of a noted Tremere here in New York. Aisling? How do I pronounce that name? Aisling. Sturbridge. Spend enough time with Agathon and I'm sure you'll run into her sooner or later. A chance to meet an important person then. So by getting to know this Agathon, I can get closer to someone higher up the ladder? Yes, though not immediately, I would imagine. Aisling? Really? Aisling? Aisling finds herself in a somewhat precarious position, both in the city and her clan. Every move she makes is heavily scrutinized, thus she has learned to tread lightly. Anyway, if you wish to contact the young Tremere, I hear you can usually find him in a New Age bookstore out on Broadway. The Tremere have one of their workshops there. Gregory will give you the detail. Now, this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat. As you recall me saying, most bloodlines have unique features that might not be obvious at first glance. No, I'm slowly going back to the British accent again. Focus. Well, there is one clan whose member wear their curse on their sleeve. The Nosferatu. Eiling, maybe. Yeah, I think Eiling. The way she said it, you're pretty sure it should mean something to you. Other than sounding foreign, it doesn't ring any bells. No wonder they make their havens in sewers, abandoned buildings and such. Their appearance is hideous and obviously unnatural. Had they walked the streets like other kindred, their kind would have long learned of our existence long ago. Snuck in along there, and I don't really know why. Did she just shudder? It's hard to tell with her usual complexion, but you could swear her skin suddenly took on an even more sickly color. The one I have in mind isn't as big an eyesore as the worst of them, but he is no Adonis either. Still, he has some talents and connection that you might find useful. His name is D'Angelo, and he has an office, for lack of better terms, in the otherwise abandoned grain terminal in Red Hook, right next to one of those Swedish stores. The name escapes me, the one with the awful furniture. Hey! Jürgen would like to have a word with you, okay? Right next to Sockerbit and Bordstavla. In Ireland is Aisling. Okay, Aisling. I think I like Aisling. I'm gonna go with that one. What, IKEA? I don't even want to accept the fact that she called that furniture awful. I mean, I can call it awful because I'm Swedish, but... A Swedish furniture store? You mean IKEA? Yes, that's it. My mind struggles to retain things that are aesthetically displeasing. This is not cool. D'Angelo does odd jobs for Kadir, digging up dirt, locating Kindred who would prefer to remain hidden, the kind of work the Nosferatu are best at. He's on case right now, something to do with kind murders, I think. After your initial brush with our dear sheriff, I think it would be wise to show some goodwill towards his agenda. Assisting D'Angelo with his investigation might be just the thing. I think I need to do more investigation like that. She takes a brief pause to look out the window again. Now come the two more exotic proposals. Exotic? As if the blood mage and the vampire detective were business as usual? You may have heard about the Gangrel before. They are a wild clan in touch with the beast in a way others might not dare to attempt. They mostly keep out of big cities, but there are exceptions. Nominally, they haven't been a part of the Camarilla for over 2 decades, but the one kindred I would like you to meet has strong, shall we say, familial ties to the sect. Her name is Tamika. Her sire, Jezebel, was instrumental during the Battle of New York back in 1999, the very same battle that cemented the city as a Camarilla domain. Sadly, her achievements have gone largely unrecognized. Tamika and a number of her siblings still reside in the domain they were awarded after the battle, Prospect Park. Jezebel herself left the city some years ago, fed up with being underappreciated. Oh, I'm so happy I have your approval for this accent because, I mean, you're definitely the hallmark for this. So thank you very much, Heidi, for the kind words. All right. You mentioned, should I contact non-Camarilla clans? I got the impression contacting vampires who aren't in the Camarilla was frowned upon. But you're saying these gangrel aren't part of the sect anymore? How does that work? It's not as clear-cut. The gangrel as a whole has sawn off the Camarilla, but individual kindred of that clan can still hold our ideals. Jezebel was one of them before she became jaded. Besides, their domain in Prospect Park has been upheld by Prince Panhard for all these years, has it not? We consider them members of the sect, and they have, for most part, kept to themselves. Perhaps it will take a young kindred such as yourself to make them realize where their loyalties lie. That was a Kevin Spacey line right there. So you see, seeking out the seeking out the Tamika could prove quite educational, if nothing else. And who knows, perhaps you will find her temperament to be a welcome change of pace. I just saw UC and I drifted straight into a really bad Cosby impersonation. I'm just impersonating all the horrible people tonight, aren't I? But speaking of a change of pace, I have one last suggestion for you, though it's one I don't make gladly. The kindred who calls herself Hope. She's Malkavian. They are a uniquely cursed clan. For centuries, we consider them mad, insane, unhinged, but those of us who spend enough time with them come to understand the truth. It is no sickness, but a unique perception of the world that has them appear to us as unstable, and that perception can prove to be very valuable. Having a Malkavian as your companion might be taxing on the nerves and a true test of patience at times, but their insight and intuition are unrivaled amongst kindred. As for Hope, specifically, now Hope is someone I actually really want to go to because Hope really liked that design, and I like that she's apparently a streamer as well. She is said to be a recluse, but I have it on good authority that she can currently be found in an internet cafe. I believe it's called in Lower Manhattan. Gregory has the address. Quaint. Yeah, that's like 20 years in the past. An internet cafe? Really? How quaint. I really wouldn't know. But since you brought it up, be aware that the Camarilla is highly critical of using the internet to communicate. The Second Inquisition made sure of that. Exercise caution when at her haven. I really don't think just using the internet is going to be a problem. If you got NSA on your ass, then they're going to be able to track your phone calls and texts. So basically don't use technology at all, or get ShrekNet 2.0 working, okay? Oh yeah, we stand vampire streamers. 100%. Well, I believe that's all of them. I still have a few social calls to make tonight, so I'll leave you to it. Use tonight and tomorrow night to arrange some cordial visits of your own. I will send Gregory for you as soon as I have further need of your services. Oh, and that reminds me, you will need a car. Car? That's New England. You will need a car. Join us downstairs, won't you? Car? Let's say car. You will need a car. Yeah, you do say it like a New Englander, don't you? It's like Boston, except drawled. She smiled once more. She smiles once more and turns to her driver. Her rebooting. Okay. She smiles once more and turns to her driver. He helps her put on her coat, and the three of you leave Sophie's apartment. Sophie points to one of the cars near the building as Gregory hands you the keys. It's a rather inconspicuous compact car, a decent-looking, if not luxurious, model. Stay safe, Amanda. This is your first night alone. Don't let it be your last. As they drive away, you find yourself with more freedom than you've had for these past nights. A blessing or a burden? Well, time will tell. Okay, we're on 1 hour and 26 minutes. Hopefully I won't have to go get more water. With a list of addresses in your hand, you consider your next move. Okay, folks, let's have a little bit of a chat vote, and let's see how well we can do this. Who do you guys want me to go for first? Should I go for Agathon? Should I go for Malkavian? Should I go for the Nosferatu, O'Donnell, Gregory, something? Or should I go for the Gangrel? Was it O'Donovan? Hope, thank you. How did I not remember that? But I guess we have a vote for Hope then, or is that just to help me remember the name? Yeah, Hope and Agathon are the ones I really want to see. I really like Gangrel too, by the way. It was my favorite clan when I was younger. But these two, first of all, I stan Tremere, like shamelessly, best clan in the game. But Hope, I really like her design. Okay, we're getting 2 Nosferatu, both Agathon. Oh, Agathon, okay. Sorry, Harry. Alright, we're getting 2 votes for Nosferatu here, and Hope or Agathon. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna go with Nosferatu then first. We're gonna go with O'Donovan. Yo, D'Angelo. God, I got that completely wrong. Sorry, D'Angelo. That's almost a different... wow. O'Donovan, D'Angelo, pretty much the same. Okay, one question though. Those of you who have played this before, can you go for all 4 of them, or do you have to choose 2 of them or something? In case you were wondering why I was poking at my tongue, it's got more cat fur. As soon as you scratch this cat, you just... It's like the spores from Last of Us. Oh, Last Among Us? Last of Us. Like, get them in your mouth and you're dead. You're done for. Okay, we'll go with D'Angelo anyway. It just means I'll get to play a second time if I want to do the other companions. Alright, as you make your way down Clinton Street, the incessant hum of traffic gives way to the ominous silence of the waterfront. I read, by the way, somewhere that one of the downsides of this game in a review was that they reuse art assets, and they probably reuse backdrops, and honestly, These are high quality backdrops. I think this is a fairly small company that made this game. I don't think they got a lot of funding for it. Again, assumptions here. I think the backdrops are fine. I like them. I think they're good. Oh, okay, so there's stuff going on at the same time. That's troublesome. You stop to take in the familiar bouquet of the Hudson, made all the more potent by your recently sharpened senses. Across the basin, the Red Hook grain terminal, where Cat is having a nightmare, rears its rusty frame. Once a bustling industrial area, now a sleeping giant splayed out on the riverbank, forgotten, abandoned. Conveniently so, especially for one of the hidden. Keeping through the shadows, you sneak closer to the dilapidated complex, making your way past hole-ridden silos and wobbly chain-link fences. By the time you reach the entrance to the main building, you can almost feel the rust particles making themselves cozy at the back of your throat. Not getting your hopes up, you give the door a slight nudge, and to your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Also, I just now realize that the 4 companions you can pick from are all from clans that you cannot pick from in the beginning, so I guess there's our explanation. But then they could have made 7 companions and just not have you pick one of whatever. Not getting your hope. Did I read this? You give the door a slight nudge. To your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Yeah, this game looks amazing. Once inside, you find yourself in a large empty hall. Looking around, you can almost picture it back in its heyday, stacked to the rafters with heavy machinery. And you notice a set of stairs leading up to the mezzanine, most likely an office space. Is that what it's called? The walkways up above, is that the mezzanine? I've been wondering that for years, and I didn't bother looking it up because I'm an idiot. Most likely an office space, and then you see it, a faint light coming from one of the upper rooms. Looks like you're in luck. Oh, okay, that's cool. So you're on night 13 and you've visited everyone multiple times. That's good to know. Thank you, because I didn't want to do this excluding any of the clans. I want to be buddies with all of them. I want to make all the friends. In case, have you guys played the Hive Swap Friend Sim, by the way? In case you heard it, it's like a Homestuck spin-off game that's pretty fun. It's a visual novel series as well. Yeah, I am an old Homestuck fan. Yes, it is true. I was there when it began. I was even there during Problem Sleuth, that's what it's called. I'm old, and I have a memory like a goldfish. Quietly, with bated breath, you climb the steps and approach the dimly lit room. The door creaks open, revealing what looks like an old-timey detective's office, complete with crooked window blinds, an overflowing ashtray, and paper scattered across a wooden desk. Suddenly, it hits you, that nagging feeling. This is all too convenient, too inviting. And before you can react, the trap is already sprung. Of course I would walk into a trap. I'm a freaking venturer. I don't know anything about this stuff. A plume of cigar smoke wafts over your shoulder. The barrel of a gun rubs against your spine, and I'm still wearing a skirt, right? A raspy voice. Typical Ventru. Thinking about that when I'm hanging upside down with a gun against my spine. A raspy voice whispers in your ear. Let me guess. Oh god, no, not raspy voices. That's gonna ruin my throat. Okay, here we go. No, that's gonna hurt my throat. Let me guess. Took a wrong turn at the 3rd silo. I can't really rush him. I'm hanging upside down, right? Right? Why did I think I was hanging upside down? There's nothing saying that in there. Let me check again. Somehow I assumed I got hung upside down. I don't know how that happened, but that did not happen. Sorry for the confusion, everyone. My mind went places. Alright, I'm not gonna rush him, obviously. I'm gonna try to talk him down. I'm not gonna use disciplines on a guy I don't know. That's not how you start a conversation with someone that's a potential coterie mate. You decide to play along. Raising your arms, slowly, you weigh your next words carefully. You're pretty sure a bullet to the back wouldn't kill you, but it doesn't sound too pleasant either. Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking in a Brooklyn accent. Yeah, so, What you doing here, eh? Eh? Gonna do that voice? Should I do that voice, or are you gonna kill me if I do that voice? So this isn't Bloodsuckers Anonymous? You mean this isn't Bloodsuckers Anonymous? A noise rattles behind your head, like someone shook a can full of gravel. It might have been a chuckle, but your guess is as good as anyone's. Oh, we didn't get the Tremere, no, we went with the Nosferatu for this one. Wise guy, huh? Lucky for you, I have a soft spot for wise guys, so I'll give you a chance to explain yourself. That doesn't sound like a New York accent at all. In a strange interplay of lights and shadows, the stranger reappears behind his desk. Seeing him... Okay, I guess you guys like that voice. Seeing him in his full, for lack of better word, glory, you can't help but smirk. This is the dreaded Nosferatu? The way Sophie described them, you were expecting some grotesque monstrosity. But this guy, the clothes, the swagger, the hard-boiled detective routine, it all comes across as a bad joke. Still, when it comes to appearance, his lineage is undeniable. From 30 feet away, he could probably pass for a bum with a nasty skin condition. From 5 feet away, he looks like something made to be seen from 30 feet away. He leans back in his chair, casually pointing his gun at you. So, what brings you to my humble office? Are you D'Angelo? You the one they called D'Angelo? That's my name, kid. Don't wear it out. My friends call me Jet, so you best stick with D'Angelo for the time being. The time being. That's not how they say time, right? Time. Now I suggest you tell me what this is about. Otherwise, I kindly ask you to get the fuck out of my office. Ah, man, I'm having fun. I can see why Kadir keeps you. Charming. I can see why Kadir keeps you around. His expression sours. Not a name you want to casually... Okay, that was bad. Not a name you want to casually toss around, kid. But hey, I get it. You're not some random schmuck who wandered in here off the street. So let's get down to nitty-gritty. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Oof, this is... Oh, yeah, I love his shirt. It's great. It's got flowers on it. It's a Hawaiian shirt. Who I work for is less important. What I'm working on, however. I know. I'm here to help. The Red Hook murders. I know. I want to help you catch the killer. His moldy lips twist into a smile. Do you now? D'Angelo lowers his shades, and for a few seconds he sits motionless with his eyes fixed on yours. Suddenly he raises his gun, almost making you flinch. Almost. Then he twirls it into his shoulder holster in a flashy display that definitely looks like it was practiced. A lot. In front of a mirror. You see the Nosferatu's lips move, but the quiet mumbling clearly isn't meant for your ears. Listening in, you're able to catch snippets of his monologue. Sure, they seem to care. What was the endgame? What was their angle? Everybody's got one, even if they pretend like they don't. Especially then. What the hell? Maybe this town's finally got to me. God, he thinks he's a pulp detective? He pauses, sticks a fresh cigar between his crooked teeth. Yeah, this is still doing a number on my throat, though, but I might have to go get some water in a second. Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered. I'm gonna offer him a light, because why the fuck not play along with this? As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter before his eyes. Or maybe you could use a healthy dose of unhealthy. And for a split second, he gives you a puzzled look. Then he leans over to your lighter, puffing on the cig as it catches fire. A wry smile comes back to his lips. I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what, I was just about to head back to the crime scene, take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. I could use an assistant. Someone to take down notes and make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. I am not really nailing this right now, I feel like. Kind of drifting. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. No, that's definitely wrong. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. No, not doing it good right now. Sorry, everyone. You won't regret it. Guess we'll find out. Just one more thing. You still got me at a disadvantage here. No. Okay, if it ever gets to the point where I'm doing this voice too poorly, just let me know, because I am being a little bit too self-critical here. Seems like you've done some digging on me, but with you, I've barely scratched the surface. You catch my drift? So answer me this. Who was it that sent you into my neck of the woods? Or in layman's terms, who do you work for? Thank you. Confidence is key. I'm a free agent. Oh, thank you. I'd rather keep it to myself for now. Now I should be honest, I work for Sophie Langley. Sophie Langley. For the first time since you got here, the Nosferatu adopts a look of genuine surprise. His eyes wander for a moment, finally giving way to a crooked smile. Huh, so you're the one, huh? The fledgling the Toreador dame spared. Yeah, that would make sense. Don't think she'd appreciate you throwing her name around. Thanks for being upfront, kid. Upfront, kid. Upfront? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. It doesn't matter if I mess up, it's just for fun. Thanks, everyone. One blink is enough for you to miss D'Angelo vanishing from his chair, and just when you're about to look around, he reappears right next to you. Up close, his smile is even more unnerving. Alright, moonlight's burning. Let's get cracking. With a certain fascination, you watch D'Angelo stumble his way across West Brooklyn. Oddly animated, incessantly scratching his face and neck, stopping every once in a while for a bout of mumbling narration, he is most certainly a sight to behold. Still, he seems to be getting around okay, and you take particular note of the fact that he seems to be choosing the darker, less frequented streets. There's definitely a method to his madness. Eventually, your leprous guide takes a sudden turn off of Van Brunt Street and into a particularly dingy alleyway. The torn pieces of yellow police tape are a dead giveaway. This has to be the place. Well, here we are. Time for you to earn your stripes. This is where they found him, drained dry, not a drop of blood on him. And before you ask, no, I didn't get to see the body, so I don't know if there were any bite marks. So, what can you tell me? You take a moment to examine the crime scene, because obviously I'm a trained professional in this kind of stuff, having worked in a penthouse office for the last couple of years. Judging by the chalk outline on the pavement, the man was killed recently. Curiously, there doesn't appear to be a trace of blood or viscera, and you know the city's cleanup crew isn't that fast or that thorough. How would I know this? Am I also moonlighting as a murderer? Is that it? Looking up, you notice a spray-painted sign on the wall. It reads, "The Blood Speaks," in big, crooked letters. You look to D'Angelo, and the Nosferatu gives you an expecting look. Well, the graffiti looks like a clue. You point to that spray-painted sign. That looks like a clue. Sure, kid. Might as well start with the elephant in the room. What do you think it means? You give the sign a good hard look. It's no Rembrandt. The writing is jagged, clearly done in a hurry. It's meant to throw us off. Nothing, it's meant to throw us off. Nah, I can see why you think that, but look at how crooked the letters are. Barely legible. You can't fake something like that. Yeah, of course it's desperate because... okay, I already have an idea about what this is. I think this might be a thin blood who doesn't know that why he's a vampire or something, and he's just running around, or they are just running around killing people accidentally. That's my theory, at least. That's just a theory. A game theory. Someone was very nervous. Very scared. It definitely meant something to them. And then there's the blood, or lack thereof. And given that the murder was committed right here, and the victim didn't make it sound, we can therefore conclude that the killer is a Kindred. The killer was Kindred. Bingo! Only a Kindred could drain a human this quickly, this quietly. Tell me, if you were to guess, which clan would you say our killer belongs to? Malkavians? The blood speaks, that's weird. Maybe it's a Malkavian serial killer. They're pretty nuts, right? Nah, kid. The Moonies can be a bit playful, but there's a method to their madness. It leaves a certain aftertaste. This right here, it just reeks of desperation. I should have just gone with my guess. I said it was a thin blood. Yeah, Huddy, you're probably right. Anyone who's lived in New York would know cleanup is not a top priority. I might be jumping to conclusions, but my money's on the thin bloods. He pauses, spits out the mangled remains of a cigar. Shit, looks like we're gonna have to pay Larson a visit. Ooh, Larson. So he is the primogen of thin bloods. Oh, my throat just tickled a little bit. I'm gonna have to go get some more water. I'll be right back, folks. And I am back. Sorry for the disappearance there. Also, my phone is very precariously hanging off the arm from my microphone, but that's fine. That's fine. You don't sound happy. You don't sound too happy about it.
It's complicated. Larson's got a neat setup for a dim blood anyway. Lives with his family. Mortal family, mind you.
No, I'm drifting away.
Even though he's a primogen, he's managed to shield him from kindred politics, and that takes some doing. Not sure if he knows who the killer is, but he could probably make an educated guess. In any case, we'd be doing him a favor. If it turns out one of his is violating the Masquerade, it will put him in a hell of an awkward position. And I mean shitting upside down awkward.
No. Yeah, it is kind of weird, but I'm thinking also, I know there was a huge conflict with the Anarchs in New York, and that Helena, the prince, actually managed to brook peace with them, and this is in the V5 setting, so I think there's an awful lot more of Thin Bloods around them. They're actually getting to be a bit of a power player in the community, so the Camarilla at some points are actually starting to accept them being around, especially since apparently they're not really a sign of Gehenna, and they've also got really cool what do you call them, blood alchemy abilities in V5, so they're still kind of useful.
It's the kind of weakness the other primogen would love to exploit. His position in the council is bad as it is.
He pauses for a moment and mumbles to himself, but it's too quiet for you to make out. And finally, he lights up a fresh cigar. He takes a puff and lets the smoke escape through his crooked smile.
All right, kid, let's get this over with.
Compared to the industrial ugliness of Red Hook, Sterling Place is quite a change of scenery. The heavily gentrified and pleasantly dull residential area emanates a sort of peaceful apathy that rich hipsters scoff at and blue-collar workers dream of. Yeah, it's obviously not going to be the same in every city. I think Chicago still has some issues with the Thin Bloods not really being accepted, but the Anarchs were a huge factor in New York, coupled with a lot of Thin Bloods from the Sabbat struggles they had there. So it was, I think it would probably be a political move from Helena to appoint the primogen for the Thin Bloods, because in the Sabbat they have the Panders, I think they're called, which is the official name for Thin Bloods, and they actually are considered their own clan in the Sabbat, so to keep them from joining the Sabbat, they'd offer them a primogen and at least an illusion of political power. All of a sudden, the Nosferatu stops. It almost seems like he was taking a deep breath, steeling himself for things to come.
This is the place.
With that, he points to a surprisingly nice-looking two-story house. This place is almost completely dark. Almost. You notice a dim light shining through the curtains of an upper-story window. The spare parts, yeah, I agree. I've never actually played Thin Bloods. I don't think I've ever played, I don't think I've ever played one of them. I never played, Cative, which is weird. I'm the kind of person who puts a lot of dots in generations. I'm just Camarilla for life, I guess. Maybe Sabbat, who knows. It's probably safe to assume that the head of the family is working late, especially if the head of the family happens to be a vampire. Also, this is a huge masquerade breach. I would not be allowing this in my city.
Okay, kid, we gotta be gentle about this. I'm talking velvet gloves, soft cushions, you rang, me lord, gentle. We need to get Larson out of here without making a fuss or letting his family see us. If we blow this, he'll shut down like a speakeasy on raid night. Trust me, I know.
Sounds like you two have a history. What's the plan? Okay, so, what's the plan?
Tell you what, how about you take the lead on this one? I'm curious to see how you handle it.
You take a step back and look around the area. The lit-up window seems like a safe bet. Now it's just a matter of getting Larson's attention, his and no one else's. Oh yeah, there's a reason it's a 5-point flaw. And the old system, definitely, the being catered for a high generation low Thin Blood, right? I don't think it's a flaw in V5 though, because you get the Thin Blood alchemy, which essentially lets you create power from or new disciplines and stuff like that. I haven't read up on it. Man, I should really get into Thin Blood stuff. As you're trying to come up with a viable strategy, you are suddenly startled by a loud noise. takes you a second to identify the sound as a dog's barking. It doesn't take you long to figure out where it came from, as a bearded man leading a Rottweiler on a leash comes into view. This is... Can I please know the color? Okay. A man walking his dog. It's a feeding opportunity. Come on, let's go for it. Oh no, animals. Shit. Shit. The dog is gonna attack me. Shit! D'Angelo, help me. I did not remember that. As you turn towards the man with the dog, D'Angelo gives you a worried look.
Kid?
Shushing him with a gesture, you plunge into the shadows and crouch behind the well-trimmed hedge. True to his words, D'Angelo follows your lead, though he doesn't seem too happy about it.
You best not be thinking what I think you're thinking.
You tense up, waiting for the man to get closer, and when he does, you spring from the darkness, grabbing both of his arms and sinking your teeth into his nook. I mean, his neck, not his nook, what the fuck? His blood gushes into your mouth, thick with surprise and laced with just enough fear. It's all so quick and yet so sublime. The man goes limp. His best friend does not. The dog goes off on a barking spree that would make a dead man cover his ears. You tear away from your victim, ready to let the beast loose on the hapless canine. D'Angelo, however, is quick to curtail your murderous appetite. The detective approaches the animal, looking it straight in the eyes. He mumbles something under his breath, an oddly melodic whisper. Good thing I had a Nosferatu with me. Mesmerized by the chant, the dog grows quiet and lays on his back, allowing D'Angelo to pet its belly. Suddenly, you notice lights turning on in some of the houses. D'Angelo gives you an angry look and points to the unconscious man in your arms.
Get him out of sight, now!
Heeding his advice, you hoist the man over your shoulder and carry him to the nearest bush. Just as you're getting up, a very unassuming and slightly unshaven man in a turtleneck approaches D'Angelo. He doesn't seem happy to see him.
Are you fucking insane? I mean, I know you are, but this is nuts, even by your standards, D'Angelo.
You glance over to D'Angelo, and he looks somewhat embarrassed, scratching the back of his neck, clearly trying to find the right angle to play this.
You want nuts? I'll show you nuts!
It's like, no, not going for that one. Sorry, we needed to get your attention.
No, that's...
You must be Larson. Sorry about the fuss, but we needed to get your attention.
By feeding right next to my house? What the hell is wrong with you? Get the hell out of here.
Not before you tell us about the murders. Oh boy, I have really painted myself into a corner here, haven't I? Oh. I didn't bleed him dry. Relax, I didn't bleed him dry, unlike your friend at Red Hook.
Is that supposed to mean anything to me?
I didn't mean that to be underhanded. God damn it, Amanda.
D'Angelo, what's going on here? It's about the Red Hook murders. Moidos. It's about the Red Hook murders. We think one of yours is responsible.
Bullshit. A Duskborn's got enough trouble just staying alive out here. What could possibly make them openly violate the Masquerade?
Desperation. The killer's been leaving messages. Whoever they are, I think they know something. Something they can't share with just anyone. I know it seems far-fetched, but it's the only way this puzzle fits together.
Nah, I don't buy it. You're reaching, trying to find a scapegoat, getting your boss's good graces. Word gets around, D'Angelo. You think I don't know who you're working for? Then help us clear your name. Then help us clear your people's name. What have you got to lose? Everything. I've been a thorn in the council's side for a while now. This is just the excuse they need to get rid of me.
What if it turns out one of yours did it, and you sat on your hands to protect them? You think the council won't jump on that?
Yeah, Larson has a really weird style element to that. It looks weird. He looks off into the darkness, pondering his options. He lets out a heavy sigh. It's literally Jogger Edward Norton.
Look, I'll ask around, consult my sources. If it turns out one of my own is responsible, they will face justice. In the meantime, keep your deductions to yourself. I have enough trouble as it is.
Yeah, Agathon might be looking into that.
Deal.
Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my family. And with that, Larson retreats to the elusive safety of his home. you decide it's best to move along. You walk a couple of blocks in... You walk a couple of blocks in utter silence. Even D'Angelo's mumbling some... Sorry, folks, it's hitting the 155, so I'm getting a little bit off focus. I'll be playing for maybe 15 more minutes, then I'll finish it up. Oddly enough, you find his newfound reticence somewhat unnerving. Finally, the Nosferatu stops and turns towards you.
Hell of a night. I don't know about you, kid, but I sure could use a drink. Something warm, in a tall, sweaty glass. But first, let me tally your score. Let's see now. You did make a good first impression. I like someone who can talk themselves out of a tight spot. Talking's cheap, bullet, not so much. You held your own at the crime scene. Nothing I hadn't figured out on my own, but hey, we can't all be professionals. Finally, when the situation called for subtlety, you managed to avoid unwanted attention. Discretion is what separates a private dick from just any old dick.
Cosmo Kramer.
All in all, you did fine. Not fine, but not bad for your first case. Don't let it get to your head.
Kramer pre-meltdown, yeah. Yeah, his hair has definitely got Kramer feeling. It's like Edward Norton and Kramer had a love child. Mpreg. Anyway, I'll be in touch. Let me know if you hear it from Larson. Let me know if I hear from Larson. I'll let you know if I hear from Larson. I can tell I'm getting sloppy with the reading. Be ready to meet me at the office. He starts to walk away, but suddenly stops and turns back towards you.
And bring a notepad. Every good assistant should have one.
Alright, we are going to start... I think we're going to meet with Hope, because I really, really, really want to meet her. And we're going to do a couple of minutes of that, and then we're going to call it a day, I think. So, Sophie suggested you meet Hope, a reclusive member of the Malkavian clan. She's supposedly holed up in an internet cafe in Lower Manhattan. I need to rest. Damn it. Alright, I'll rest and then go meet Hope. Or I will apparently have something happen right now. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. There's a letter slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. The note is small and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Oh, speaking of that, did you guys catch that there's been like a bunch of amazing news in regards to Vampire right now? So the first thing that happens is that Cults of the Blood Gods is going to be on Kickstarter the 17th of December, which is making me very excited because I know the script is finished. I know Matthew Dawkins has been working on it along with some other people for the Onyx Path. I'm super excited about Blood Cults because I think that's one of the neatest and coolest additions to V5 that I'm really looking out for. Then there is also, right after that, it got announced that London by Night will be on sale next week. No, not London by Night. Fall of London will be on sale next week. Pre-sale, pre-order. If you pre-order it, you will get the PDF of the book right away. I played Fall of London. If you've seen my video, it's on my channel. I played a scenario of Fall of London at Dragon Meet, or like less than a month ago. Really, really well written. Really cool. I'm looking forward to that one. And even after that, we get freaking season 4 of LA by Night, guys. That's huge. I was actually worried we were not going to get it, so super happy about that. So this has been a really awesome week for us vampire fans. So, man, I am totally looking forward to the Christmas holidays when I can read up on all this stuff. It's 2 p.m. No, it's been 2 hours. I'm going to go talk to Hope slightly. Or should I go speak to... No, I'm gonna start talking to Hope right now. I want to meet up with her. And then we're going to do a couple of minutes of that, and then we're going to call it quits for today. I just want to see her. I want to see how she is. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to rows of PCs. And I mean, yeah, what a time to be alive, considering aside from Chicago by Night, sorry, I was thinking there for a second. Aside from Chicago by Night, there's been like nothing on the front of V5 for a long time, and even before Chicago by Night, I thought they were just gonna stop making the game. So, very happy with the development this year. 2019 has been a good year for vampire players. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly, and some bored kids. Did I say bored? Bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games, playing that League of Dota or the BIMS or whatever the kids call it these days. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. Nay on the haters, by the way. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him, I was supposed to meet Hope here. If I told you I was supposed to meet Hope here, what would you say to me? I'd probably tell you I'm surprised. People are usually far more discreet about seeing her. The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, he raises his voice again. Come right this way. He heads back into the cafe and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. I knew it! I knew they were playing Fortnite. I just didn't say it. It's a common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors. I don't know where environment came from, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Oh man, don't put high expectations on me right before I'm gonna do a voice. I'm gonna be worried. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a lone source of pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the doors shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit in a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After a brief consideration, you type in... I mean, it's a Malkavian. I'm gonna type in something goofy. Maybe it's your newfound sensibilities going haywire, but this place has a barely noticeable sleazy aura. Might as well go along with it. You input pornos collector. That's not goofy, that's dumb. Thank you, Huddy. And push the enter button. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage execution. Oh my god. Is this ever gonna end? I mean, guys, please. Identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. Okay. No, I don't want to get banned. I want to read this. Someone said, man, I'm horny. I'm not sure why I'd had need to lie about this one. Literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who's Pornos Collector? Pornos Collector? No idea. I knew a user wasn't here a second before. What the hell? Was anyone informed? No announcement. No, I wasn't. Jerry? Identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. The chat goes silent, everyone's seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group, better say something before they kick you out. I'm a vampire. Oh my god, fuck it, I'm a vampire. I'm a prickly pear, I'm a vampire. You decide to let him know you're a Kindred. Pornos Collector, Kindred reporting in, just here on some Kindred business. An instant stream of responses. Kindred, oh, who is this clown? Jesus fucking Christ, what a dumb fuck. I'm a Ventru. Don't call me out. Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get the location, Jerry? Lol. Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. God damn it. DM to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble, Pornos Collector. Yeah, you're gonna get dumbass the day you decided to spy on us. I'm gonna try to use presence on the chat. I don't think that's gonna work. The waiter brought me here. Calm down. Fuck off. That one guy brought me here. Doubtful. I thought this was where I could meet Hope. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. Yeah, Jerry, how are things on your end? Got the info. Nice. You wanna die, asshole? You will die. You will die. 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 Fuck pornos collector. Hey! That's not nice. Cult of Luna. Neoliberal die. Allowing at everyone sentencing pornos collector to death. Bastardo. Yeah, I'm feeling you here. I'm literally on my way to kill you right now. Yeah, sorry to inform you, you're about to die. Rip, bitch. You're getting your throat slit right here, right now. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arm tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. Okay, here we go. What voice should I give her? You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to wait until the next time we play to decide on that one. This feels like a good place to end it, because it's been 2 hours and 6 minutes. My voice is going again. So, thank you everyone for dropping by for the stream. I will post a time and date for the stream as soon as possible on Twitter. Last time I said I was going to stream on Friday, which didn't happen. I will preemptively say Monday, same time, but we'll see about that. I'm going to say Monday right now, and hopefully that will be the time we'll see episode 3 of this little stream. Super happy to have all of you all here. This was great fun. Thank you for bearing with my goofiness. And go watch Huddy Wunschland, by the way. The big call out. She's also doing a stream of this and got some really amazing lore videos for Vampire the Masquerade. And if you're into podcasts, I know Harry Wyckoff has been active in the chat, is the storyteller of Saratoga by Night, which finished not too long ago, at least season 1. Season 2 is going to be slightly different, covering another form of World of Darkness characters. So if you're into actual plays of vampire, go check out Saratoga by Night. And as you know, my channel is open for lore videos. There will be a new one on Tuesday, which will be a werewolf video. And finally on Thursdays, except we're taking a break for now, unfortunately, but usually on Thursdays we will be playing Changeling the Law 2nd Edition Littlebrook Reunion, which will come back to broadcast the 2nd of January. So I will see you guys there. If nothing else, I will also tell Kitsu hi, of course. Hi, Kitsu. Kitsu is a lovely player on the Littlebrook Reunion stream and my lovely spouse. And I am biased, of course. Thank you again for showing up, everyone. You made this stream a blast. I am so looking forward to Monday, preliminarily. Take care, and be careful out there, because Gehenna might soon be upon us, you, your decision. Bye-bye.